A name such as Rachel's bookkeeping service makes it sound like it's just me and always me. What if I wanted to expand? What if I wanted to hire a team? Welcome to Gentle Frog's Bookkeeping Lily Pad, your cozy corner of the podcasting world, where numbers tell a story and bookkeeping blossoms into an adventure. My name is Rachel Barnett, and I'm glad you're here. This podcast is for bookkeepers who enjoy authentic, unfiltered, and always encouraging friend to talk shop with. We will be discussing what it's like to own and operate a small bookkeeping business. In this episode, I thought we'd talk about naming your business. My first business was called primarily Bookkeeping. I had responded to a Craigslist ad, and I ended up doing many things in my role as the office person. When I decided to turn it from calling it a 1099 wink wink nudge nudge into getting a proper business license and doing things as I should have, I decided I needed to give it a name. I was at the office for 35 to 40 hours a week. I wasn't really working with other clients, not truly a business in the sense that I'm sure Department of Labor and IRS would have liked. But I very creatively just said, well, I am primarily here doing bookkeeping, so I'll just call the business primarily Bookkeeping. That led to some interesting conversations. Later, when I would go to networking events, people would ask, what did I do? What's my business? And I was very quiet and very meek. I would quietly say primarily bookkeeping. People wouldn't know what I meant. Like, is that the name of my business? Am I describing what I do? Am I just shouting out two random words? To combat that and my fear of talking to people, I just got t-shirts printed with the business name and the logo like real big front and center on the chest so that people would understand that was the business name. And if I said it fast or quietly, they could kind of piece together what I said with the shirt and identify that's the business name. A couple years into the business, I went to a creative workshop. There was a brainstorming session. The day was all about being creative and thinking about your business in a creative way. I don't remember what our specific objective was, but somewhere in there, it hit me that I should have a DBA for my business, that I didn't want to go through the effort of changing my business name and my bank account and all that good stuff, and that my DBA should be Your Bookkeeping Fairy Godmother. I love and loved that name. I loved it so much that I got it trademarked, and that's what I would describe to people instead of primarily bookkeeping. I kept my email address and my website and all that good stuff because I didn't want the world's longest email domain or website address. But when I told people I was Your Bookkeeping Fairy Godmother, it really helped set them at ease and have an understanding of what it would be like to work with me. I wanted to be a fairy godmother. I had been describing what we did as a bookkeeping team as going into your QuickBooks like magic helpers in a children's fairy tale and just helping, fixing things, cleaning things up, putting things away. When I sold the business with the trademark. It's my understanding that the buyer didn't do anything with the branding that I had built up, but I liked it and it served me well. Years after selling the business, people would still remember me as the fairy godmother. My second and current business is Gentle Frog. I started this business while I was in the process of selling the other one. What I knew when I was selling the other one was that I would sign a non-compete that said I couldn't offer bookkeeping services. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I thought maybe I'd offer admin services or QuickBooks training or bookkeeping training. So I knew I wanted a name that wasn't super specific to a thing. If I had said Gentle Frog Administrative Services, but then I decided that I would prefer to offer training, that would have been very silly. If I had said Gentle Frog Training, but then I started offering bookkeeping after the non-compete expired, that felt too limiting. I'm happy that I picked the name Gentle Frog, but I will admit it's come with its challenges. In some places, I use a longer and more descriptive name. If I meet you at a networking event, I might say, I own a company called Gentle Frog Bookkeeping or Gentle Frog Bookkeeping and Training, some variation of that. I like the flexibility of an ambiguous name. However, the challenge is that people don't automatically know what I do when they hear the name. After my previous experiences, I knew I was never going to build a large business, so I wasn't trying to build brand name recognition or to be the Nike or Chipotle of bookkeeping. I'm really just trying to make a few dollars to earn enough money to pay my team, to pay for my software addiction habit, and to pay myself. No visions for an enterprise here. This isn't just about what I've done for my names. This is also about what you might do for your business name. Whether it's a business you're about to start, or maybe you have an established business and you're considering a DBA like I did. Some things to think about. I'm glad I didn't use my name. I like having the freedom and flexibility that the business itself is separate from me. I would recommend having a business name that allows for growth. A name such as Rachel's Bookkeeping Service makes it sound like it's just me and always always me. What if I wanted to expand? What if I wanted to hire a team? Those people certainly could say they work at Rachel's bookkeeping service, and I'm sure they'd be fine with it. The problem might come when a prospective client or an actual client comes to you and says, no, I hired Rachel's bookkeeping service and I only want to work with Rachel. I've had that experience in the past and I accommodated it, but I did not like it and I would never do it again. That's a funny thing to say considering I'm the only bookkeeper at my firm. But if I ever hired another bookkeeper, if the stars ever aligned and Megan and I worked together again, I would never let a client say, I'm only ever going to work with Rachel. That's it. It's just not in my personality. Another way you might want to think about your business name allowing for growth is to give your business a name that is not restrictive. For example, if my business was Gentle Frog QuickBooks Training, that feels restrictive. If my business name ended in bookkeeping and later I wanted to offer CFO or advisory services, that might be kind of difficult. Not impossible, just difficult. You can always modify your business name, you can get a DBA, or you can change it altogether. But as you're thinking about your future brand, I want to encourage you to think about what might you want to do. And if you say, I want to do bookkeeping, this is probably the only thing I want to do, then go forth and name your business with the word bookkeeping on the end. Make it easy for people to identify what you do and make it easy for you. This is both funny and serious. Choose a business name that people can hear, spell, and remember. Primarily bookkeeping was good for 2 out of 3, but the problem was that people couldn't spell it. People had trouble spelling primarily, and people had trouble spelling bookkeeping. This is no issue when people are Google searching. This is an issue when somebody needs to add me to their account, or they're trying to email me something. If a client or if a prospect can't spell your email address, this is going to lead to some challenges and maybe to some missed opportunities. As you're thinking about business names, you also kind of want to think in the back of your head about your website. You don't have to get exactly your business name as your website, but definitely think about your prospective business name and search it. Does that website come up? If a client was looking for your business with the name that you have in mind, are they going to find your website with the domain that you purchase, or are they going to find someone else's website? What I liked about Primarily Bookkeeping and Gentle Frog is that I was able to buy the domain. I didn't have other websites that were similar, so when people typed it, they weren't accidentally going to a competitor. There are so many businesses out there and so many websites out there. It might be unavoidable, but I would do whatever you can if you're deciding between two to pick the business name that you can purchase a website domain. Have something that you can easily buy that clients are likely to remember and likely to type in when they go to search for you online. Remember that people will judge your business based on the name. Your bookkeeping fairy godmother attracted people who wanted a sense of comfort and support. You can imagine the type of clients that did not call my business with the name Your Bookkeeping Fairy Godmother. And that was fine. I really wanted people that wanted to be wrapped up in a virtual hug and to be comforted and to be told it was going to be okay. I do much better in that situation than I do with people who are analytical and curt or abrupt. You know yourself, you know your personality, and you know who you're trying to attract. I would strongly encourage you to just think about your business name and think, does my ideal client feel any sort of reaction to this business name? Do they feel a positive, negative, whatever the case? I feel like it would be great if your ideal client felt a positive reaction, but it's also fine if they feel a neutral reaction. If your ideal client feels repelled by your business name, that's going to be unfortunate. Last but not least, before committing to a name, check to see if that business name is available in your state. Does anybody have a business license with that name on it? And check also to see if it's federally trademarked for your industry. Your Bookkeeping Fairy Godmother, for example, was federally trademarked under the industry of bookkeeping. I hope this is helpful. I really enjoy the process of naming a business. I've obviously named a couple of mine. I've also helped friends brainstorm theirs. While daunting, I feel like the process of naming your business can be a lot of fun. You get to be creative and explore ideas. A thing that I have done is I've written down ideas that I like on sticky notes, and I put those notes on my kitchen cabinet and I move them around until something feels right. There are websites that help you brainstorm business name ideas, and I'm sure with ChatGPT and other similar programs, you're very likely to get a robot that would be happy to sit down and brainstorm ideas with you. If you're in the process of thinking about how to name your business, I'm excited for you, and I hope this is helpful.